We on Pro Wrestling Show. That's the Raw Ring Report. Some of these matches that's going to be part of Monday Night Raw. We see that Xia Lin was paid on Eddie Hartwell. Xia Lin called out Triple H to attack. That all about. We get that coming up. Also, too. DIY. Supposed to triple. You just buy the material. And these two men that said, supremacy, we talk about it. You know, last week's National Survivor Series. Tag Team Championships. The Undisputed Tag Team titles online. Former champions Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. Next on the Judgment Days, Finn Bálor and Damian Priest. With some Judgment Day free-for-all and chaos. We'll get to that coming up. All this and more on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. Let's start right now. Pro Wrestling Show presents a Raw Ring Report. Here on the Pro Wrestling Show, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect TV and our digital channel. This is a live edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We thank you all for watching here for the Raw Ring Report. And what a Raw Ring Report, we're going to kick it off. Right now, we told you Judgment Day was the fifth of tag team time. We're forward champion. Cody Rhodes is a little bit later in the show. And plus, too, also, too, in this a lot going on. We're trying to celebrate the life of the late, great Eddie Guerrero. Passed away in 2005. Guerrero touched many lives. We'll get to Eddie Guerrero within later on in the show. And we'll talk about this Survivor Series coming up. Yeah. War Games that was announced last week. That's the added card, or there's going to be more members. Coming up right now. All right, we kicked things off. Raw kicked things off from last week. Remember when General Manager Adam Pearce made the announcement that a Survivor Series is going to be War Games. It was War Games, all right. We saw the competitors that's going to be competing. We'll talk about Big Lynch later. But this is other compared to Judgment Day. Damian Priest, Finn Bálor, one half of the tag team champions. JD Madonna and Dominic Mysterio. They're going to be competing in War Game. Well, for the Judgment Day. Well, Damian Priest made a startling announcement that he claims that he is the leader of the Judgment Day. After all this pickering and stuff, Cody Rhodes kept on pickering around with Damian about who's the official leader of the Judgment Day. Damian should be the leader of the Judgment Day because he's one of the founding members of the Judgment Day with Edge. It kind of makes sense on that. Theoretically, Damian holds the briefcase of the Money in the Bank in the Tag Team Championships. So Damian Priest officially go on with that. Well, we can say this, that Cody Rhodes wanted to make sure that him and Seth Rollins on the same page as the feud from last year. Ever since Cody returned, Cody Rhodes returned, I think got a lot going on in stakes of that. So I think Seth might be. We didn't never know with Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes putting their ifs aside. So, okay, we'll see about that one. So, hey, we'll kick things off with this action right here. Well, Otis, Mighty Otis, was in action. Otis went against Shinsuke Nakamura. Really didn't have a chance whatsoever. Otis Nakamura, former secondary champion, defeated Otis with a quick span, and Otis didn't see it coming. Well, we tell you this, women's champion Rhea Ripley was in the ring arguing with general manager Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce told him, "You don't run Raw, I run Raw. You think you run this, you think you run that. Think another thing coming, sister." I think Rhea Ripley got her hands full tonight on what's going on. I think Rhea Ripley might have bitten a little bit more than she could chew. Rhea Ripley did call out Zoe Starks, and Zoe Starks laid down the law to her that at Survivor Series she's gonna defeat her one way or another. But the only way to do so, uh, she has to put the pedal to the metal at Survivor Series, and Rhea Ripley been putting the pedal to the metal, been making the deals and been broken the deals and doing all she can do. We'll tell you a little bit later what Rhea's master plan is, a master strategy is coming up a little later. Speaking of that, Tegan Knox was in action. Tegan Knox went against Piper Niven. Tegan Knox won her match over Piper Niven. That could earn her an Italian tag team title shot against Niven and Chelsea Green down the road. Well, speaking of that, The Miz was interviewed. Miz talked about that he can't wait to Survivor Series when he challenges Gunther to take back the Intercontinental Championship. That was so much prestigious to him. Because Miz wants to do it again. Let's see if Miz can do it again. Speaking of that, the Judgment Day, try to convince Damian Priest to let JD McDonough join the group after JD's been putting his neck on the line for the group. And Damian decided to, I guess, do something that he thought he wouldn't regret. Damian allowed JD to become a member of the Judgment Day. Damian did so. I guess out of these headbutts and stuff, he's part of the Judgment Day and stuff. Um, and how this be. That's gonna be for them. Also, too, right here, Becky Lynch called out Xia Li. The Becky Lynch and Xia Li had their match. Becky Lynch, will take on Xia Li 1-on-1 next week on Raw. So Becky Lynch is looking forward to getting her hands on Xia Li and what Xia Li did to her and cost her her chance at the Battle Royal to become women's champion again. So we just have to wait and see how that's going to be going sooner rather than later. So, well, The Miz was in action. The Miz was in action against Ivar. Miz won his match against Ivar. The Ivar tried to do all the stops, did everything to Miz, tried to break down Miz. Miz didn't see fit and see phase to it. Miz on what was going on. Well, that was General Manager Adam Pearce telling Rhea Ripley a little bit earlier in the show what was going on. Shinsuke Nakamura won his match and stuff. And Natalia and what's her name? Tegan Knox. Well, hey. We're gonna wrap. When New Day doing a segment with American Alpha You're showing the title belts, the football title belts, and with the Creed brothers as well. So a lot of stuff going on. Also, too, we've been seeing that Intercontinental Champion Gunther a little bit disappointed in both his men. Gunther playing mind games with both Imperiums. We'll see how that's gonna go because he's trying to see who's trying to weed out who's the weak link. How that went down tonight. So also too, a challenge has been issued for next week. Nia Jax will take on Raquel Rodriguez. I think this should have been the first feud from the start for Nia Jax. Nia Jax now finally getting a feud with Raquel Rodriguez. See who's the toughest, who's the strongest. We'll see that match next week on Raw. Um, it was the Miz getting the win over Ivar. Ivar might be going against Bronson Reed down the road, and we might see that match coming soon. There you go. Also, too, we told you that what's his name? Got confronted by Jinder Mahal and Io Shear is back. I don't know what's going on. Will they be trying to feud with Imperium? Time will tell from that. Well, we get to the main event. Well, before we get to the main event, we told you that world champion Seth Rollins got confronted by Drew McIntyre. The Drew told Seth that he was the better man for winning and represent the world championship belt the way he did. So time will tell on that and how that's gonna go down. So finally, what's the main event for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles? The Judgment Day defend their tag team titles against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. The Judgment Day. Judgment Day putting up a fight to the end. The Judgment Day was almost close to losing the tag team titles. Jay and Cody had them in that little tag team move that they do until none other. Jay was close to winning until Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere and decided to pull the cost Cody and Jay the tag team titles. Drew McIntyre claims that Jay, who did at the beginning, Jay was the one with the tag team goal, and Jay cost Drew his dream of winning back the WWE title. And it just didn't happen. And Drew wanted to take it out, and so Drew decided to align himself with Rhea Ripley. What's going on with that? Drew McIntyre aligned himself with Rhea Ripley. I think going forward, Drew and Rhea Ripley are going to be a phenomenal team. But only time will tell. What does this mean for the Judgment Day? Judgment Day is getting stronger and stronger. Could Drew McIntyre be added to Survivor Series as the fifth man? Time will tell. So it's getting more interesting. This is the current crop right here, the current field for at Survivor Series. We can show it right quick for Survivor Series in that War Games match. This is the current crop right now. The Judgment Day members consist of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, the tag team champions, Dominic Mysterio, the North American champion in NXT, JD Madonna, and against Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, um, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. We know that Sammy and Jay has a War Game experience from last year. They was members of the Bloodline. Now they're members of the good Team Cody against the American Nightmares. I would call them. So we can see that coming up at Survivor Series. And what does Rhea Ripley's role will be at Survivor Series after she defends her women's title? Will she keep everything in line for the Judgment Day? When time will tell. And why Drew did what he did, we probably get an answer next week on Raw on how that went down as well. So, all right, that ends the Raw Ring report. We're moving over to Wrestling Hot Topics on Wrestling Hot Topics. On this day, 18 years ago, the wrestling world lost a legend, an icon, the late great Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero wrestled his final match against Mr. Ken Anderson on SmackDown, and then a couple of days later, Eddie Guerrero was found in a hotel room unresponsive and passed away from a apparent heart attack. Man. Eddie Guerrero was a living legend. You see right here the stills. His motto was, I lied, cheat, I steal. He was a former WWE champion. I love watching Eddie Guerrero on TV growing up and stuff from the WCW days to the WWE days and Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero paved the way and trailblazed the way to this day with feuds against Rey Mysterio. People that allies of Rey, Santos, Alberto Del Rio, Carlito, name it. Eddie Guerrero has put an indelible footprint in those superstars, those Hispanic superstars, like God rest, Godspeed, Eddie Guerrero. Speaking of that, Ninja Boy Ric Flair talked about Jim Ross saying that he can't go with the Kane. He said he's Post Malone's boy, so the rapper Post Malone and Ric Flair. Because Ric Flair saying, you're right, JR, about my wrestling days being over, but I am the coolest M alpha in any room that I stand in just here. So Ric Flair said he ain't lost a step bit on that. Afro 2. WWE announced that they're doing tribute to the troops on Fox. This will be the final tribute to troops on Fox. We'll see that coming up. It'll be in Providence, Rhode Island. So tribute to the troops coming to Fox on December 8th. So, speaking of that, could you imagine WWE have a ring gear like this? This could be a possibility. After we was told that WWE could have product placements that well. They do it with the lead ring, everything that Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Tobro Tax, you name it, everything. This could be a possibility. I don't know who put McDonald's there, but hey, that's what it is. But there could be an example of what you might get during a WWE event. All right. We know next week will be the go home show for Survivor Series. Here's the rundown right here. Becky Lynch will take on Xia Li one-on-one. Becky Lynch will finally get her hands on Xia Li after what Xia Li done to her. We'll see that. Plus 2, Nia Jax takes on Raquel Rodriguez. We'll get to see that match as well. So there's a lot of matches we're going to get to see as well. And also, too, before we go, internet, I guess, indie star, Effie, it's an openly gay superstar saying that NWA had reached him and he's saying he rejected the NWA's offer. He even talked about NWA owner Billy Corgan with the drug spot on his pay-per-view. I don't know why Billy Corgan even wanted to do that, but that's his business. He cost himself a TV deal on that. That's crazy. But Effie gives him, elaborates even more. Watch his YouTube channel to see what he was talking about. But that's what they said he was saying throughout the whole thing. All right. We're going to end there right there on the Pro Wrestling Show for the Raw Ring Report. So we're going to end it with Women's Champion. We're going to end it with Drew McIntyre, Austin, Cody Rhodes, and Sam and Jey Uso. Their shots of becoming Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report.
Yeah.